Oh, looks like we just started recording.
Who wants to read first? Who's on second?
I'm
Uh,
chewing. I should be
Oh,
second.
let's grab Meher Kiran before he's called to work or something. He may have been called to work already.
or maybe Diana could start us off. I don't think she read last week.
Oh, good idea. Yeah, I forgot
I
that.
read, but I'll go ahead, excuse me, and read. Okay. First, chapter 51. First among the astute. The boldest and most strong-minded woman may, if kept in captivity for a long period, lose heart and become depressed. Sita hoped month after month that her lord would discover her whereabouts and come to her rescue. Sick with disappointed hope, alone in the midst of enemies, she clung to life only from an abiding faith in the love of Rama, which made her feel that he would surely come. And I want to just stop here for a second and just remind ourselves that didn't we last see her sitting in the garden where she would stroll, and Ravana comes and starts hassling with her to love him. So we're coming back to this. The Rakshasis plied her with what, from their point of view, was well-meant counsel. Won't you listen to our advice? You are a human and so lack sense. You still hold on to this wretched man husband of yours. Silly body. Your proper place is our king's bedchamber. That is the proper place for every kind of pleasure. But spurning this offer, you are forever thinking of your worthless husband. Why are you still fond of this luckless wretch driven out of his kingdom? You will never see him again. Yield to Ravana and be happy. Sita, hearing these words, could only shed tears. What sinful words you utter, she said. Never can I do what you say. You tell me that Rama is poor and wretched and an exile from his home. All this I know, but among us of the race of men, no wife would think of giving up her husband on such grounds. It is wicked for the Rakshasa king to desire me for his wife. As the sun's brightness belongs inseparably to the sun, so do I belong to Rama. As Sachi is faithful to Indra or Arundhati to Vasishtha, so am I ever to Rama. The Rakshasis gave up all hopes of persuading her and said to one another, what can one do with a stubborn fool like this? It is best to eat her before she gets too thin with brooding. I am in the family way, said one. I have a great longing for human flesh. I shall tear her out and make a meal of her soft body. We shall strangle her and report to Ravana that she died of grief, said another. The king is lost in unavailing grief because of this obstinate woman. Once he knows that she is dead, he will forget all about her and sleep soundly. Another said, I long to eat her liver. It must be very tasty. Another added decisively, let us kill her and share her limbs. Fetch some sauce and strong liquor. Let us feast on her and drink and dance in the temple of Nikumbila. Hearing these horrible words and seeing these terrible forms, Sita broke down and cried aloud. Her physical courage failed and nature had its way. She sobbed like a child, but even in her sobs, her mind was clear and it was fixed on Rama. In Janastana, Rama destroyed thousands of Rakshasas. Why does not Rama come yet to redeem me? The warrior princes who killed Virada and Dandaka, why are they still indifferent to my fate? It could only be that they do not yet know where I am. Jatayu, the vulture king, was slain by the Rakshasa. If he at least were alive, he would have told them the news that he saw the Rakshasa carrying me. but he gave up his life in trying to save me. But how long will Rama remain ignorant of my being here? How long can Lanka and the Rakshasa survive? It is certain that in every house in the city, Rakshasa widows will soon be lamenting loudly. It is certain that this city of Ravana and the whole Rakshasa race will perish. Thus she thought within herself and slowly recovered courage. But soon again other thoughts came to her and filled her with gloom. Could it be that Rama gave up his life, unable to bear my loss? It might well be so. Otherwise, could he neglect me and leave me all alone these so many days? Indeed, he is happy now and with the gods. I must have been guilty of many sins to be thus left to suffer. My heart must be made of stone. How else can I suffer all this and yet survive? Yet something tells me that Rama is alive, else I should be dead. Then again another thought occurred to her. Perhaps he has resolved to spend his life in penance and has laid aside all thought of me. No, no. How could a warrior forsake his duty and, leaving his wife in the hands of his foe, take up the life of a sannyasa? How foolish of me even to think of this. The fact is that they do not know where I am. Could it be that Rama has lost his love for me? Out of sight, out of mind, they say. Could it be that he has forgotten me? Fie, fie, what a sinful thought. How can my Rama forget me? He never can. And what wrong have I committed that he should cease to think of me? This cannot be the reason. Perhaps Ravana has played some trick and treacherously slain the prince. Thus her mind wandered from one sad thought to another and sank even deeper in the sea of sorrow. She decided that it was best by hanging herself. She could hang herself with her long braid of hair round her neck and jump down from a branch of the Simsupa tree. Having failed in their attempt to persuade Sita, the Rakshasis did not know what to do next. Some went to inform Ravana of their failure. Some stayed behind to look after Sita. Appearing among them, Trijata, a Rakshasi, reprimanded them, saying, "O foolish ones, you are talking nonsense. Listen to me. I shall tell you of a dream that I dreamt. The time has come when Lanka shall be destroyed." Then she proceeded to recount in detail the terrible dream that she had dreamt. I saw in my dream Rama, shining like a sun, come to Lanka to find Sita. I saw Ravana entering the abode of Yama. I saw Rama mounting Sita on his elephant and carrying her home. I saw Ravana and all the Rakshasas clad in soiled garments and dragged away by Yama. Relating this dream to the Rakshasas, Trijata warned them, "Don't persecute this saintly woman. Don't seek your own destruction. Fall at her feet and beg for grace." Even as Trijata was speaking to her companions, Sita, who resolved to slay herself, suddenly began to see many good omens. Her left eyelids, hand and foot, throbbed auspiciously. A vague courage once again came into her heart. All ideas of self-destruction disappeared. Hanuman, sitting hidden above and watching all that happened in the grove, wondered what he should do next. One might imagine that, having reached Lanka and seen Sita, Hanuman had nothing more to do. But he was not so easily satisfied. He thought within himself, "I have done something which no one else could do. I have crossed the sea and discovered Sita. I have seen the city of the Rakshasas and noted its defenses. All that a spy can do without revealing himself to the foe, I have done. But the situation here is fraught with danger. If I go back now to report what I have seen to Rama and my king, who knows what meanwhile will happen here?" Before Rama, Lakshmana and the Vanara host arrived here. Sita, unable to bear her suffering, might put an end to her life. All my labors would then be lost. It is not enough to have seen Sita. I must talk to her, give her news of Rama, and put hope and courage into her heart so that she may hold with life in spite of all. How would Rama receive me if I returned without speaking to Sita? I must find some way of speaking to Sita. In the rosary of Hanuman's name occurs the title Buddhi Matum Rarishtam, first among the astute. It is a true description. In what form should I appear before Sita? In what language should I speak to her? If suddenly a monkey came and spoke to her in this Ashoka grove, Sita would surely suspect foul play and imagine that Ravana was playing some new trick on her. If I appeared suddenly before her, she might cry out in fear. In her present condition, this is most likely to happen. The Rakshasis guarding her, who have now fallen asleep, will be startled awake and discover me. They would know that I have come from their enemy and in disguise, and they would bring the Rakshasas to attack me. A great battle would ensue. Of course, I shall slay most of them, but the task of comforting Sita and bearing news of her to Rama would be jeopardized if I were to be captured and held a prisoner here. This would never do. Even if I escape being caught and come out successful in the struggle, I might be wounded and lose strength and be unable to cross the sea. What then would I have gained having seen Sita? One should never do things in a hurry. One should keep in mind one's main business. King Sugriva and Rama are confidently awaiting my return. Even a little fault on my part may lead to great disaster. The first thing to do is to get speech with Sita and put joy and hope in her heart. I must approach her in such a way that she can never for a moment entertain a doubt about my good faith. Well, I shall recite in a sweet low tone, and for her hearing only, the story and virtues of Rama. Her heart would then be filled with joy and trust, displacing suspicion. Only thus can I proceed. So he thought, and, still hidden by the branches of the tree, he began to utter in a low voice the sweet words, Rama, Rama.
Thank you. Very nice. Let's continue. Is marijuana Mayhair available? Okay. Anybody want to go on? I don't mind.
Sure.
I can read actually. Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead then with next chapter?
Yeah. Sita comforted. Hidden by the branches, Hanuman sang in a sweet and gentle voice the story of Rama so that it fell on Sita's ears. King Dasratha ruled his kingdom well. His army was mighty and comprised of chariots, elephants, and horses. He was virtuous and a doer of great deeds. He kept his word and was foremost among the famous kings of the world. He was equal to the rishis in virtue and to Indra in statesmanship. He hated no one and harmed no one. All his endeavors were crowned with success. Therefore, men call him Satya Parakrama, truly valiant, the richest of the Ishvaku race, a king of kings. It's actually Satya Parakrama. Okay.
Oh, you missed a line.
Therefore, men call him Satya Parakrama.
No, the
Yeah.
line before that.
All his endeavors were crowned with success. Therefore, men call him Satya Parakrama, truly valiant, the richest of the Ishvaku race, a king of kings, the ruler of the world. He enjoyed and communicated happiness. The eldest of his four sons was Ramachandra, whose face was like the full moon, wise, virtuous, and a master of the bow. Rama was beloved of all, and he was full of kindness for all the people in the kingdom, a warrior wedded to Dharma. He was a heir to the throne, and yet to preserve the honor of his father, he left the kingdom with his wife Sita and his brother Lakshmana and lived in the forest. There he vanquished the Rakshasas and protected the rishis. He destroyed Kara and Dushana and their mighty army. Coming to hear of this, Ravana, bent on revenge, induced a Rakshasa to assume the form of a deer and
Guile.
beguile the princess in pursuit, and in their absence carried off Sita by force. Grief struck Rama, went in search of Sita. He met Sugriva, the Vanara, and made friends with him. Rama slew Vali, the Vanara king, and secured to his brother Sugriva the Vanara kingdom. And Sugriva sent his Vanara warriors to all the quarters of the globe to find out where Sita was. These Vanara warriors who could assume what shape they would searched the whole world for the missing Sita, following a clue given by Sampati. I crossed the sea 100 yojanas broad and have come here. And now I see one whose form, complexion, and qualities are those described to be by Rama as his royal spouses. Having said this, Hanuman paused. These sweet words uttered by someone from somewhere filled Sita with wonder and delight. She looked around in all directions to discover who conveyed such sweet matter in so sweet a voice and in such exquisite language. She looked around and up and down and found no human form to match this perfect speech. She only saw a lovely little monkey seated on the branch above her. Sita saw the son of Vayu, the wise minister of the Vanara king, in the form of a little monkey, radiant like the rising sun. The reader should imagine for himself the joy of Rama's messenger as Sita's eyes fell on him. The reader who experiences the joy will find God in his heart. Narayana, who is waiting eagerly to enter and take possession of our hearts, would leave the great and boundless ocean of milk and come to dwell within us when we cleanse ourselves of sinful thoughts. Seeing Hanuman, Sita said to herself, "The words I heard, the form I see, they cannot be real. I am only dreaming. One sees in one's dream what one is constantly brooding over. How often has my mind dwelt on the story of my Lord? Is it any wonder then that I seem to hear the tale as told by someone? It is not real, it is only a dream. They say that if one sees a monkey in a dream, it forebodes evil to one's kinship, to one's kinsfolk. May God protect Rama from harm. May God keep all harm away from Lakshmana. May God bless all my kinsfolk in Mithali. No, no, this is no dream. My eyes are open and I see the same form still seated above me. There it is, clear and solid. No, this is no dream. And I am not asleep. How can one dream without sleeping? This is no dream. All this is real. Oh gods, could this indeed be a messenger from my dear Lord? Oh, grant that it be so. Oh, Vachaspati, master of speech, I salute you. Oh, Agni, I salute you. Oh, Swayambhu, I salute you. Oh, gods, protect me. May this be Rama's messenger. Hanuman, radiant with the joy of seeing Sita, descended to the ground and stood before her, palms joined and head bent in salutation. And he said in a deep, soothing voice, Mother, tears are falling from your eyes like drops from lotus petals. May I know who you are, who stands there leaning on the tree trunk, face clouded with sorrow and eyes wet with tears? Are you a goddess or a Naga maiden? The radiance of your body makes me question whether you could be of merely terrestrial birth. Are you Rohini, separated for a while from the moon god? Or are you Arundhati, parted from sage Vasista? No, on closer observation, you seem to be a human woman, maybe a princess adorable in your distress. Please tell me who indeed you are. May God bless you. Are you the Princess Sita, carried off by Ravana from Janasthana? Is mine the bliss of seeing Sita, the beloved of Rama? Sita was beside herself with joy. My child, she said, indeed I am Sita, daughter of the king of Videha and Sri Ramachandra's spouse. For 12 years I enjoyed all happiness with him in Ayodhya. In the 13th year, King Dasratha made preparations to crown my husband. Then Kaikeyi, his youngest wife, reminded him of boons he had granted long ago and demanded that in redemption of his word he should crown her son Bharata king and exile Rama to the forest. She threatened to kill herself if this was not done, but bound by promise, the king had to yield to her insistence. At his bidding, Rama relinquished the crown and betook himself to the forest, not only without regret, but happy that it was given to him to enable his father to keep his plighted word. I refused to be left behind and insisted on going with my lord into the forest. Even before me, Lakshmana had put on bar garments, determined to accompany his brother to the forest and serve him. The three of us entered the forest and were living in Dandaka.
Oh,
One day,
Meher, could you slow down a little bit and enunciate all the words?
yeah,
Thanks.
I I will also say that the scrolling. I don't know if it is fast. I have to reach fast, so maybe we will time together. Okay. The three of us entered the forest and were living in Dandaka. One day, the evil hearted Ravana carried me off by force, and he has kept me a prisoner here in this Ashoka garden. Of the time limit of 12 months he has set for me, only 2 more months remain. When they are over, I shall end my life. Thus spoke the helpless princess in her sorrow. The speeches of Hanuman and of Janaki are sung by Valmiki in two brief chapters. As Hari appeared before the emperor Bali in the form of Vamana and measured the universe in 2 steps, so Valmiki has given the tale of Rama in a short recital by Hanuman and another by Sita. What greater joy can we have than reading Hanuman and Sita telling the divine story themselves? As Vamana got the better of Bali and saved him from his ahankara, may the tale of Rama, as told by Hanuman and Sita, rid us of the sense of I and my. Sita concluded her story with the statement that 2 more months remained of the allotted 12-month term, and that her life would then end. To Sita, overwhelmed my grief, Hanuman spoke words of comfort. O princess of Videha, Rama, the noblest of men and the mightiest of warriors, has sent me to you with good news. His beloved brother Lakshmana, ever anxious for your welfare, sends through me his salutations to you. Ah, what happiness is mine, she exclaimed. I now see the truth of the common saying that so long as life lasts, there is hope. Thus, between these two utter strangers, a profound confidence and affection sprang up like the sudden blossoming of the Parijata in Indra's garden. Yet, when in his joyful eagerness to console and encourage Sita, Hanuman took a nearer step towards her, Sita lost the confidence inspired by his words and again grew suspicious. She shut her eyes and moved away further from the tree. Hanuman, noticing this, withdrew respectfully and stood with hands clasped in obeisance. I have been deceived, she cried. You are no other than Ravana. Once you came disguised as an ascetic and imposed on me. Now you have come again in another disguise and speak sweet words. All this will bring you no good. Why do you torture me, O Ravana? I am weary and full of sorrow. You call yourself a warrior. Is it a warrior's part to persecute a helpless woman? Then she opened her eyes and thought again. No, no, this cannot be Ravana. Trust and friendship spring in my heart at the sight of him. He can be no enemy of mine. It is wrong to suspect him. She addressed him, saying, O Vanara, are you indeed a messenger sent by Rama? May God bless you. Tell me more concerning Rama. Let my ears hear and my heart rejoice. Then once again doubts assailed her. Am I a victim of delusion? Imagining good news. Is this a dream that mocks me with the illusion of joy to make my despair blacker when I am awake? Am I in my right senses? Of course I am. My thoughts, my words are all normal. I am sane and sensible. But then he says that he crossed the sea 100 yojanas broad. No, no, this cannot be true. He is Ravana and none else. So she concluded in her mind, and without lifting her eyes to look at Hanuman, sat apart in silence. Hanuman understood her doubts and fears. They were natural in one who had been deceived by the Rakshasa. He thought for a while and realized that the only approach to her confidence was to awaken hope and joy in her sorely tired heart by extolling Rama and harping on the certainty of her rescue and his victory. And he began, Rama has sent me. Rama is radiant like the sun. Rama is pleasant to look at like the moon. Rama is praised by all the rulers of the earth. Rama is valiant like Vishnu. Rama is wise like Brihaspati. Rama is handsome like Manmada, the god of love. Rama's words are ever sweet and true. Rama's indignation is ever righteous and well directed. Rama is a peerless warrior. Rama has sent me. while a Rakshasa in the shape of deer beguiled Rama and drew him away in the forest, you were left alone, and Ravana carried you off by force. Soon he will pay dearly for this evil deed. You will see it with your own eyes. Soon the shafts of Rama and Lakshmana will strike Lanka and destroy it along with Ravana and all his race. At Rama's bidding have I come to you to learn about your safety, which is his constant concern. On Lakshmana's behalf, I place at your feet his respectful salutations. And so too, homage from Sugriva, the Vanara king. Rama, Lakshmana, and Sugriva are ever thinking of you. It is my good fortune to have seen you alive. Now there will be no more of loss of time. Soon Rama, Lakshmana, and Sugriva, accompanied by the whole Vanara army, will descend on Lanka. I am Sugriva's minister. My name is Hanuman. I crossed the sea and reached Lanka. You may take it that my foot is already on the head of the evil-minded Ravana. By Rama's grace, even more than my own prowess have I, his servant, crossed the sea to behold you. Do not suspect me. Have faith in my words, mother. So, said Hanuman, with tears in his eyes. These sweet words of Hanuman, acting on her great love for Rama and confidence in him, put an end to Sita's fears and gave her courage and faith. Forgive my suspicion, O Vanara friend, she said. Deceived by the Rakshasa and surrounded by his artifices, I am prone to needless fear. O friend and messenger of Rama, how did you first meet Rama? How did the prince make friends with the Vanaras? Tell me all. To confirm her faith, Hanuman encountered. Okay, maybe it's getting longer for one story. Can somebody take up from there?
Yeah, sure. I'll pick it up here. To confirm her faith, Hanuman recounted once again the virtues and attractive qualities of Rama and Lakshmana. He said, what wonder is there in Rama becoming friends with me and my king and the Benares, when the whole world lives and finds bliss by his loving kindness? He proceeded to describe fully how the quarrel arose between Vali and Sugriva, how the latter first met Rama and Lakshmana, how they became friends, how Rama promised to slay Vali and secure the Vanara kingdom for Sugriva, how the Benares had picked up and preserved the jewels dropped by Sita, how with mounting sorrow Rama recognized them, how Vali was slain and Sugriva crowned, how after the rainy season was over, the Vanara hosts searched the whole world for Sita, how the party led by Angada and proceeding south, having failed to find her, decided to fast to death, how they met Sampati and received a clue from him, how he, Hanuman, crossed the sea and searched the inner apartments of Ravana. All this he recounted. At the end of the narration, he placed in her hand Rama's signet ring that he had brought. Siva received the ring and pressed it to her eyes with joy. Now all fear of Ravana, deceit, and Rakshasa magic was over. She had complete faith in Hanuman and infinite affection for him. My child, she said, how foolish was my error. How could I suspect one like you? The son of Vayu explained to her who he was and who his father was, and what his own might was. Though I, who enjoy the grace of my father Vayu, should not sing my own praises, I do so now to end your sorrow. Soon the Varana warriors will be here to destroy the Rakshasas and their kingdom. I must first return and tell them where you are. And then he described Rama's desolation in being parted from Sita and the ascetic life he led. And Sita's heart melted in loving sorrow. Sita forgot her own suffering, thinking of Rama's grief. Chapter, what is that, 53? Sita and Hanuman. Dear, dear Vanara friend, said Sita, I do not know whether to rejoice or grieve at the news you have brought. Your words are like nectar mixed with poison. My Lord's love for me is sweetest nectar, and his grief over my plight is bitter poison. Thus Sita spoke what she felt and found comfort in putting in words her love and her grief. Pleasure and pain, happiness and misery alternately impel human beings. Sita was consoled, but also pained by the thought that Rama had not forgotten her, but was thinking of her, grieving and searching for her. We are puppets, manipulated by the twin strings of joy and sorrow, said Sita. None of us can escape their pull. My Lord and Lakshmana and myself are all subject to this law. You say my Lord suffers like a sailing ship caught in a storm on the high seas. Oh, when will he come here? Dear Varana friend, when will he destroy Lanka and Ravana and the other Rakshasas? All this must take place within the 2 months' time still left. Please explain this to my Lord. Only 2 months remain to me. Vibhishana, the younger brother of Ravana, tried his best to persuade the latter to change his ways. Return Sita, he said to Ravana, and save Lanka and the Rakshasa race. All his words have gone in vain. My heart is strong within me. I know Ravana is on the road to the abode of Yama. Soon my Lord will vanquish his foes and redeem me. I have no doubt about this. My innocent heart tells me this, and it cannot prove false. Thus Sita went on speaking with tears in her eyes. Hanuman could not bear the sight of her suffering. Mother, he exclaimed, I shall go at once and bring back Rama. He will descend on Lanka with a mighty army. But why should you suffer any longer? If you are agreeable, sit on my back. I shall carry you across the ocean and restore you in a moment to Rama. Do not for a moment doubt my ability to do this. As Agni carries the sacred offerings to Indra, so shall I transport you to my Lord Rama. Permit me, O pure of heart, to do this service. I can not only carry you and restore you to Rama, but I have the power to wrench Lanka from its foundations and throw it and its ruler at Rama's feet. Sit on my back now, and like Rohini rejoicing the moon, you will rejoice Rama. As I sprang and came here, so shall I spring and reach the other shore with you.
That word is rejoin.
Rejoin, okay. Rejoin Rama, okay. Thus, Hanuman went on speaking out of his affection and enthusiasm, and Sita wondered how the little monkey before her could hope to carry her across the ocean. Hanuman saw her doubt, and so, to demonstrate his powers, he jumped off from the platform and began to grow big in size. Sita was pleased. But, she said, O son of Vayu, I realize your strength, and yet it is not right that you should carry me. On the way, the Rakshasas are sure to intercept and challenge you. They will hurl their weapons at you. Your care will be to guard me. You will not be able to fix all your mind on the battle, and that may be a serious setback to the strongest warrior. In a battle, one cannot be certain of victory. And what would be my fate if you should fall? And besides, in the violent convulsions of a heady fight, how can I be sure of maintaining my position on your back? I may slip and fall into the sea. It is clear, therefore, that you should not try to cross the sea with me. Apart from that, Hanuman, if you snatch me away stealthily from the Rakshasas, it would be no credit to the valor of my lord. The honor of the Kshatriya race demands that he should come and fight and vanquish Ravana and redeem me as the prize of victory. Would Rama have me stolen back even as Ravana stole me from him? No, my son. Return and quickly bring Rama here with Lakshmana and the Varana army. Let my lord's arrows destroy Lanka and send Ravana to Yama's abode. His victory is certain, like the fierce sun at the hour of doom. Rama's arrows will burn the Rakshasa people to ashes. You are right, said Hanuman. I shall return alone. But what shall I tell Rama? What sign shall I carry of my having met you and talked with you? Hearing these words, all her happy life with Rama came like a flood to her memory, and her eyes were filled with tears. If she told Hanuman, and Hanuman told Rama, some intimate happenings known only to herself and her lord, it would be proof of Hanuman having seen her, and also make Rama see her present disconsolate state. With flowing tears, she recounted incidents of their forest life. Once in Chitrakuta, my lord and I wandered about in the grove beside the river and became weary and rested on the ground. He laid his head upon my lap and fell asleep. While thus, a crow came down and hungrily pecked at my bosom. I drove it off, but again and again it returned and troubled me. I then flung a pebble at it, but even that had no effect. Rama was roused from slumber and saw me thus troubled and weeping in pain. At first, when he saw what the matter was and found it was but a crow, he was inclined to laugh at my discomfiture. But he saw the bruise the crow had made and discovered that the bird was really an asura. The bird flew for its life, but Rama sped a dart at it, which pursued it wherever it went, till at last the crow asura sought Rama's feet for refuge and found pardon there. Tell him of this incident, O Hanuman. I cannot wait for many more days. Tell him to come quickly and save me. Again she was in tears, as she said, on another occasion we were both wandering all alone in the forest. I was tired. Perspiration had washed off the tilaka on my forehead. My lord playfully plucked a pinch of red mineral from the rock and applied it between my brow with his own sweet hands. Ask him if he remembers this incident. As she went on recalling happy memories of the past, the weight of her present sorrow overwhelmed her, and she wept and said, What should I tell Rama? What is there that he does not know? Does he need my words to rouse his indignation? Only tell my lord that I embrace his feet. That is enough. There is Lakshmana beside him, the brother born to serve him, and of unrivaled skill in arms. Looking at his sweet face, my lord even forgot his grief for the father's death. The pure-hearted hero, dear Lakshmana, parted from his own mother and came away with us and regarded me as his mother. Tell him he should come and end my suffering." As she thought of Lakshmana's heroism and devoted loyalty, Sita's eyes were filled with tears. When Rama had gone chasing the golden deer, she did not insult him and fling burning words at the selfless and did she not insult him and fling burning words at the selfless and devoted friend? The thought of this injustice filled her repentant heart with insufferable pain. She was unwilling to part from Hanuman, who had come to her and consoled her just as she was about to put an end to her life. At the same time, she wanted him to return quickly to Rama and give him news concerning her. At last she said, "My child, here is the jewel given by my mother at my wedding and fixed on my forehead by the late emperor. Take it and give it to my husband as a sign from me." So saying, she untied a knot at the corner of her sari, took out the divine jewel, and handed it to Hanuman, who received it with humble reverence. When Hanuman had the jewel in his hand, pride and joy filled his mind. His heart was far away with Rama. Mentally, he had recalled Rama's presence and conveyed the glad message of his discovery. Only his body now stayed in Lanka. "Dear friend," said Sita, "you must tell Rama all you have learned here, and it will be your good fortune to help him to achieve victory." As Hanuman was about to leave, Sita spoke again. "Dear Hanuman, convey my affection to the prince and also to King Sugriva and the other Varana leaders. Tell them from me that I implore them to give help to Rama, to save me from this sea of sorrow. You, more than anyone else, I hope, will encourage and show the way to the prince in all matters." Hanuman answered, "Lay aside your sorrow, dear princess. Rama, Lakshmana, and the Varana army will descend on Lanka, destroy the Rakshasas, and redeem you. Have no doubt." As he was about to go, Sita said again, "Should you not stay here somewhere for a while and rest? Should you return at once? Your visit has given me such great consolation and made me forget my grief for a while. When you leave, I shall sink again in my sea of sorrow. You came here crossing the great ocean. How will Rama and the big army cross it? Have you thought of that?" Doubts assailed her once again. "Have no doubt, my queen," said Hanuman. "Do you think I am the only Varana that could cross the sea? There is not a Varana but has
That
more."
that that word is Vanara.
Vanara, thank you. "There is not a Vanara but has more power and skill than I. Not only Sugriva, but many in his army can fly around the world. What is this narrow sea to them? There are thousands among us who can roam in the sky. Have no doubt whatever. Do you think they would send the best among them as a mere messenger? Dear lady, have done with sorrow, for you will soon see me with the two mighty princes on my back. They will lay waste this city with their arrows. They will destroy Ravana and all his race. You have as good as crossed the ocean of sorrow and reached the other shore. God bless you. In a few days you will see the two princes standing, bow in hand, at the gates of Lanka, destroying the Rakshasa host. You will see the Vanara army leaping with joy over the ruined city. Once they hear the news from me, they will not delay a moment. I have only to tell them, and they will start at once. Do not lose heart." Saying this and bowing profoundly, Hanuman prepared to go. "Tell Rama and Lakshmana that I am alive," cried Sita. "See that no time is lost. May God bless you." And Hanuman left. Let us meditate with reverence on the heroic son of Anjana, the wise messenger who gave consolation to Sita and quenched her grief. Okay, I think we have time for one more reader.
Betty, you want to
I'll read.
unmute?
Yeah, I'll read.
Oh.
54. Inviting battle. After taking leave of Sita, Hanuman sat for a while on the top of the garden wall and began to think. What can I do to put courage into Sita and some fear into Ravana and his friends to shake their arrogant confidence? It would be good to leave them some souvenir of my visit, some indication of what the future has in store for them. It is clear I must instill some fear into Ravana to prevent him from troubling Sita in the meantime. Fear is the only argument they understand. Ravana has untold wealth, and one cannot part his friends from him. Hence, Sama, consolation, Dana, buying over, and Bheda, sowing discord, are useless in this case. I should therefore do something terrible to frighten them and warn them not to ill-treat Sita. Yes, I must do this before I go away. At once he began to grow and assumed a huge form and began to lay waste to the ground. Trees fell cracking to the ground. Bowers collapsed. Tanks and artificial hills were disfigured and destroyed. The beautiful Asoka Park soon became a mass of ruin from which the deer and the birds fled in fear. The slumbering Rakshasas woke up and were bewildered to see this unaccountable sight. Hanuman sat on the top of the wall of the garden, a huge figure of wrathful menace, waiting for the answer to his challenge. The Rakshasas quaked with terror at the sight of this stranger, and some ran to tell Ravana the news. Some approached Sita and asked her, "How did this huge monkey come here? You should know who he is. Did he say anything to you? Tell us the truth. Do not be afraid to speak out." "How do I know what can happen in this charmed world of Rakshasas?" Sita answered, parrying the question. "This monkey is probably one of the Rakshasas, and you are likely to know more about him than I." The Rakshasas fled in fear from the park and reported to Ravana what had happened. "O king, a huge monkey, terrible to look at, has laid waste the royal garden." It was in secret talk with Sita. Of course, they omitted to add that they had fallen asleep and given a chance for Sita to talk to the monkey. "We tried our best to get some information from Sita," they added. "We asked her who he was and how he came here and what he told her, but she refuses to answer. You should seize and slay this creature. Do send a strong foe. The beautiful grove is completely devastated except for the Simsupa tree under which Sita is seated. Its spreading branches have suffered no damage. The monkey which laid waste the tanks and bowers has spared the habitation of Sita. There must be a reason for this. We suspect that this is not an ordinary wild animal. It must have been sent by some enemy of yours, either Indra or Kubera. How could it have anything to do with Rama?
Oh,
How did
you skipped a
oh,
line.
okay.
Or could.
Let's see. It must have been sent by some enemy of yours, either Indra or Kubera. Or could it have anything to do with Rama? How did this monkey dare to talk to Sita? He must be a messenger from Rama. Do send your warriors to capture this terrible beast. Ravana was furious on hearing that his favorite park, set apart for his queens, had been destroyed. His eyes glowed like twin torches, and hot tears rolled down from them like drops of burning oil. He turned to the bodyguards standing beside him, ever eager to do his bidding, and ordered them at once to go and destroy the monster monkey. A strong force started to execute the king's commands, armed with maces and spears and other weapons. So,
The next chapter is pretty short. Why don't you just take one more chapter, Betty?
okay. 55, the terrible envoy. The Rakshasa warriors saw with amazement a mighty Vanara seated on the garden gate, who at their approach grew to still bigger size and formidable menace. Oh, you have come, have you? He said, and jumping down, brandished his tail and striking the ground with it, roared till the four quarters shook. He snatched the huge iron bar from the gate and, armed with this weapon, began to attack them all. He sprang and leaped in all directions, and whirling the iron rod, struck the Rakshasas down, one by one. After finishing them thus, he resumed his seat on the top of the pillared entrance and roared once again, "Long live Rama! Long live Lakshmana!" he loudly proclaimed. "Lord live King Sugriva! O ye Rakshasas of Lanka, your doom are near. The great warriors Rama and Lakshmana and King Sugriva have sent me money.
Sent me here.
Sent me here. Why did I get money? Have sent me here to destroy you. Come on, in your thousands, I stand here ready to hurl you to destruction. I have saluted Sita and received her blessings, and now I am going to destroy your city." All Lanka heard the thunder of his words and quaked in terror. When the news reached Ravana that the warriors sent against Hanuman were all slain, he opened wide his fierce eyes in amazement and wrath. "What is it you say?" he yelled, and called Jamumbali, the matchless warrior, son of Prahasta, and said to him, "Go at once, punish this monkey, and report to me." The Rakshasa Jambunmali took some time to put on armor and to take up weapons and get ready to meet his foe. Meanwhile, Hanuman was not sitting still. He climbed to the top of a temple in the park and stood there, shining against the horizon like a second sun suddenly risen in the sky. He magnified his body still further and looked like a golden mountain range up in the heavens. His roar filled the city of Lanka and raised echoes from all the 8 quarters. The hearts of the Rakshasas trembled in fear. "Long live Rama! Long live Lakshmana! Long live Sugriva! I have come as an envoy of the king of Kosala. I have come to destroy Lanka. I am Hanuman, son of Vayu, come here to utterly destroy the enemies of Rama. I have vowed before Sita and received her blessings. Know that I possess the strength to vanquish 1,000 Ravanas. Big boulders and uprooted trees I shall aim at the Rakshasas and destroy them. That is what I have come here for." The sentries in the temple took up various weapons and attacked him. Hanuman jumped down and plucked up a big pillar supporting the temple and stood there like the destroyer, whirling his massive weapon easily as though it were a willow wand. Hanuman struck down and slew the sentries. The temple from which the pillar had been removed collapsed. As Hanuman struck the ground with the pillar, sparks of fire flew all around. "In Sugriva's army there are monkeys much mightier than I, and they will soon be here," he roared. "You and your king and your city will be destroyed by them, root and branch. Your king has incurred the enmity of the lord of the Ikshavaku race, has he not? Lanka is nearing its end. Destruction awaits the Rakshasas. The god of death is approaching Ravana." Jamumbali arrived at last, with wide glaring eyes and ugly irregular teeth, dressed in scarlet with large gold rings in his ears, bow in hand, garland round his neck, sword at his hip. He came in a chariot, rattling like thunder. Hanuman set eyes on the chariot dragged by enormous mules, and he got ready. Seated in his chariot, Jambumali bent his bow and aimed a few arrows at Maruti, who was seated on the wall. They wounded his face and drew blood, which added to the beauty of his face. It was as if a red lotus had suddenly blossomed in the heavens. The wounds enraged Hanuman, who picked up a big boulder and flung it at the chariot. He uprooted a sal tree and, twirling it, flung it all at Jabumali. Then he plucked out a huge iron rod from the temple and aimed it at the chariot and reduced it to splinters and crushed the huge body of Jabumali into a shapeless mass in which neither head nor limbs could be distinguished. The issue of this battle was duly reported to Ravana. He was struck with wonder. This is indeed something strange, he said to himself. This murderous brute is not an animal, certainly not a mere monkey. It is some new creature devised by my old enemies, the gods, to annoy me. And he ordered mighty commanders to go with a great army to capture the creature and produce it before him. The Rakshasa chiefs went forth in great array of chariots. In full force they attacked Hanuman, who was, as before, stationed on top of the entrance and was laughing aloud in disdainful concern. They showered missiles on him that mostly glanced harmlessly off his adamantine frame. With each dart or arrow that struck him, he grew in stature and fierceness, and raging all around with energy, and ranging all round with energy, pelted them with rocks and huge tree boles, till all the leaders lay crushed and slain, and the survivors fled in panic and despair. Having killed or put to flight the entire contingent of Rakshasas, Hanuman roared in triumph, and Lanka trembled at the roar. He resumed his seat on the stone battlement on the top of the garden gate. Hearing of the defeat of the force sent to capture Hanuman and the slaughter of 5 of his best commanders, fear for the first time entered Ravana's heart. It is extraordinary that a solitary monkey should have this devastating valor and purposeful malevolence, Ravana thought with anxiety. This is surely a conspiracy of the gods. But he kept his concern to himself and laughed derisively. He looked round at all the members of his great council. His son, the heroic Aksha, stood foremost, eager for battle, and the proud father bade him go forth to battle against the tremendous foe. Radiant with youth and healthy and glowing with high courage at this opportunity of distinguishing himself, Abshah went forth in a shining chariot, confident of victory. And
Well,
there we are.
I think we'll end here for today.
Okay. How close are we to finishing? Close?
We've still got about 70 to 75 pages.
Would you say we read like 20 pages at a time, or?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Another 4 sessions or so, we might be done with it.
Yeah.
It looks to me like we're 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through the book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably 3/4, yeah.
It's kind of cool that that Ravana has this sort of dual nature of being an ugly Rakshasa, but he keeps beautiful gardens and beautiful buildings, and yeah.
I think we'll hear more about Ravana's life as we go.
Oh.
Pretty amazing. But I didn't remember any of this part. Hanuman taking on so many of the army there. I mean, we wanted to leave and go back so that, so that Rama and Lakshmana could come. But But this is very interesting.
Did we talk about the next book? Have we talked some or not? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think
Oh,
so,
okay. Okay.
but we could think about it over the next